So where are we?
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yep.
Basically in the bridge, me and Pierre would swap places and he would go and play drums and I would become the lead singer of Simple Plan, which is, you know, my childhood dream.
Pretty sick moment in the show is Chuck jumping in the crowd. He's got balls to do that, that's for sure.
The best part was after doing the little bit in the middle, I would just go and stage dive in the crowd and go crowd surf. And the crowds were just gigantic. And I got everybody to come and crowd surf with us at the same time. So it was huge, man. Like at some point, I think I counted like maybe 25, 30 people around me just crowd surfing, and I was high-fiving them, and I was trying to go from one side to the other and coming back. And there was a few days where the stage was just close enough that I could actually jump in and do like a full-on stage dive and not just jump on the barricade.
Launch? You gonna launch?
Think about it.
No, you don't think about it and do it.
Do it?
Yeah.
It's a big leap. I'm gonna try it. Why not?
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it.
It was really special. I grew up doing it as a kid, as a teenager, with our first band Reset, and going to punk rock shows in Montreal, and it was just a blast. It brought me back to being a teenager, you know, and my love for music and just my love for live concerts.
Has Cleveland ever looked better than it does today, huh?
Thank you for being at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame for the 25th annual Vans Warped Tour. We have a beautiful exhibit in the museum about the whole tour. Check it out sometime. But today, out here, we have live music for hours and hours to come. Thank you for being here. I'm Greg Harrison. I'm the museum's president and CEO, and I get to do this every day, and I love it. I'm being joined by Kevin Lyman, the founder of the Warped Tour. Here's Kevin.
This has been quite a week in Cleveland. We've had so much fun here. The Rock Hall's been great to us. Cleveland's been great to us. You know, it's always been a great stop on our tour. Anyone been at the Great Storm of Tower City many years ago? Do you remember that storm? Or are you all too young to remember when we were here with the Warped Tour and I felt like we were in an episode of Ghostbusters? It's the craziest time. But this is quite an honor to be here. 25 years. I know I'm wrapping up the touring part of this, but we have many plans to do many things. And one of the things that I've been lucky enough to do is come here and be a judge of the Tri-City Rock Off. And they hold it here at the Rock Hall. And I've been down here to judge it before, and we've allowed those bands to come up and play at the Warped Tour. And it's always been great for me to get to check out new music, because the Warped Tour was about discovering bands. How many of you discovered a band at the Warped Tour that you ended up loving? So today, maybe you're going to be discovering this band for the first time. They've come all the way up from Texas. Oh, wow! And, that's what it was about. You guys just cruise up here, like steal your mom's car, like I always told kids to get to the Warped Tour in. So let's welcome Peter McPoland in the house.
What's up, Warped Tour? Oh man, I can honestly say I did not think that I would ever get to say that. And yet here we are. Alright, let's get it going.
was always about the sense of discovery of music. You never knew the people who got it, and you got it, because when we announced this show, people were like, well, it's not a Warped Tour. We never said it was going to be a celebration of the eclectic nature of Warped Tour. And you are the true fans that get it. And I'll always be there. And some people have asked me like where I'm going. So I want to give you two things. Just remember 320 Project and Player Omega. Okay, so down the road you'll come across me, because the only thing in life you do is run out of time. Not things to do, and that's what I'm looking at. So I'm chasing time at this point. 58 years old. I started the Warped Tour when I was 32. But this band right here, okay, this is their first show in 8 years. We were hanging out downstairs. Today, is it 8, 10? Wait, 8, 10? We can't agree. First show in 10 years. And the crazy thing about this band is, I remember when you guys came in and kind of played music in the office, and we hung out. And my friend Mike Kaminsky, who I mentored, who actually helped me go be a professor now, he's recruited me to be a professor, and he was just starting to manage artists. And he came to me and said, I've got these two sisters, Meg and Dia, and I'd love for you to meet them and hear what they're all about. And I first met them, and I said, you're on the Warped Tour. And this was like in the total like emo, screamo area. You know, so like that was there, like, you know, I see some scowling faces up there, the old punk rock people. Don't be scowling, you know. You know, it's not about, music keeps growing. We just keep getting older. So this is awesome for me, because these people, when they called me and said, we're thinking about playing together, I go, you're in, right? You're in, you're coming to Cleveland, and you're coming to Atlantic City, and you're coming to San Francisco. The band, I really appreciate it. And if you haven't seen Meg and Dia and you're in the back, get your asses up here. So let's hear it for Meg and Dia. Such fun, you guys. This is the party and celebration for the band's Warped Tour 25th anniversary at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in Cleveland. Hey, the youth are our future. The youth are the future, and I've always believed in that all my life. And the music is the future. And I just met three new friends today. I've got Jacob, Hallie, and Carson. The first World Warped Tour hanging out. Mom and Dad over there wearing an Offspring and Rise Against shirt. Yeah! You know? Let's hear it for Mom and Dad who brought them down the Warped Tour. And you know what? Really, that's what I've always believed in the future and the youth, and that's what we're doing here. You know, music has always been that gathering point for change. I always had a philosophy that it was music, education, and philanthropy. I've always had that in my life, and you know, it's not easy when you step out in life and stand for something. Sometimes I took a lot of flack for that. But I stood up for something and worked through it and learned from my mistakes. And we all can learn from our mistakes, because you know what? We need to look out for these people right here. They are our future. You guys they're like, we don't want to say anything. All right? They're like, we'll come up if we don't say anything. But you know what? One day they may be in a band. One day they may be scientists. One day they hopefully are world leaders. So with that, it was funny because we have agents in this business, we have managers, we have all these people that like think they know better. But a lot of times that comes down to band members knowing better. And this next band knew better because they actually were paying attention when we announced that the Vans Warped Tour 25th anniversary would be here today. They told their agent and manager, like, wait a second, we're supposed to be in Cleveland the same day, and there's no fucking way we're not going to play the same day without being part of the Warped Tour. They're also a band that was on that year. There was a year on Warped Tour where in business they go, what was the biggest year of Warped? What's the best year? And if you have business people, they always think the year you make the most money. That's where they go. That's what the world's about. The Warped Tour, yes, I made a better living, but I never took advantage of my scene. And this was my hardest summer. This was like probably the summer that almost killed the Warped Tour because it got too popular. And that was in 2005. Okay? So in 2005, the year before in 2004, a couple of bands showed up and I let them play in the parking, like come in and play a few shows. They were Fall Out Boy. They were My Chemical Romance. And this little band, the first band that ever showed up on the Warped Tour with a smoke machine, that was Avenged Sevenfold. You knew they were going to be huge because they showed up with a smoke machine. Yeah, that smoke would be halfway to, where are we going? Pittsburgh? I'm not leaving tomorrow. I'm actually staying here tomorrow. Normally we load up in a bus and leave tomorrow. So we would have to do this whole thing where it was like, you know, the smoke machine, Avenged Sevenfold. It was also the year Offspring. So Mom over there in the Offspring shirt. And it was the only time I ever got to fly in a private jet because Dexter would fly his jet to each show and then grab a band and take them to party with him each night. And you know, this is a band that had by that point been selling 30 million records, was around the world. So there was another band. It was a crazy year. It was like, you know, All American Rejects were out there. And, we had so many people, but there was also a thing, and how many of you remember TRL? All right? TRL, if you watch TRL, you were laying your ass on your mom's couch watching it. And then all of a sudden, you decided to come out in the sunshine one time a day. One time that summer, you came to the Warped Tour, and you stood in the sun and melted and passed out. I was about ready to pass the pens out in the front row for kids so they could pee their pants so they didn't miss the hit song. But it was a really crazy summer. It was a summer we learned a lot of techniques that are used at festivals now to keep you safe. It was a crazy time. But 2005, there was another band on that tour, and they're still here now, and they're smart enough to go, wait a second, they told all of us, they called me and they said, you know what, we don't want to be like in the same, I'm like, you got to play the show. And they said, we're going to be at the show, and we figured it out. And I want you guys on the count of three, we're going to say, oh God. So I'm going to get him to speak, okay? So, on the count of three, we're going to announce this band. 1, 2, 3. Welcome high. Okay. All right, we'll try to. Okay. Welcome. Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Welcome, Hawthorne Hearts.
Side of your window with my radio. I'm outside of your window.
Today. You look pretty damn fine. Thank you guys so much for singing along. It makes a difference to us. You've been coming for years. If you guys want, when we're done, I'm gonna go over by the merch area. If anybody wants to say hi, I'll be right over there. We grew up not too far from here, so you guys are essentially the same type of people that we are. And you've always made a difference to us, just like Warped Tour has. We were coming here as kids. We eventually got to play. We're still playing to this day, and it's all because of people like you who support this music scene. And because of people like Kevin Lyman who gave us all a place to play. Some people never made it this far. Some people have passed away way too early. So hug your friends and your family every single night, all right? You guys are special. Be exactly who you are. Don't worry about being different, because that's exactly what this is. It's about being different. It's about understanding that the world and life is not the perfect place. And we can all be in this place together no matter who we are, all right? So right now, we gotta sing this for 3 more minutes as loud as we possibly can. Because I don't know if we'll ever get this chance to be together right here in front of this place, in this city, with you people, all right? We know that this is a unique moment. And we want to sing this as loud as we possibly can with you guys. Because it's always more special in Cleveland, we know this, all right? We love you guys so much. We're Hawthorne Heights. Come over by the merch tent. I'll be hanging around. Give you a hug, a handshake. We love you guys so much. Thank you. For the last 15 years. Thank you. Give it up to Kevin Ryan. All right, Ohio, we gotta get wild, all right? Don't be quiet.
I know it's hard to feel like I don't care at all where you are and how you feel.
All right, how's everybody doing? We've got a lot more music to go. Now I want you to know, in addition to today, there's a bunch more bands, but here at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, we're going to have music all summer long. On July 17th, Soccer Mommy is coming. You know Soccer Mommy?
Nobody.
We've got Against the Current is coming. They played the tour. Sunflower Bean is coming. Mike Kroll and Swearin' is coming. Open Mike Eagle. And then on August 9th, Interpol is coming. Those shows are all free. Except Interpol, you got to get a ticket. But everything's free. Go to the Rock Hall website. It's 100 days of live music here at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Right now, you're standing on top of our main exhibit hall. The Warped Tour exhibit is right below you. It's up all summer long. Come and check it out. In fact, while you're here, the Stooges are on exhibit underneath you. The Clash is on exhibit underneath you. The Sex Pistols are on exhibit underneath you. The Damned are on exhibit underneath you. The New York Dolls. Make sure you come back, okay? Let's welcome Kevin Lyman back, the founder of all this and our friend.
All right, I can't babble. They actually gave me something I have to tell you guys, all right? And I'm looking at most of your faces, and I apologize straight up if you're under 21. However, we want to keep the party going tonight, so we're actually, this is a night where we're not just having a barbecue and rolling off to Pittsburgh with 19 semi-trucks to set up tomorrow morning. We're actually hanging out here in Cleveland, Ohio with you. So tonight's after party, if you have your wristband, is free from 10 to 11 o'clock. The party will be at Paradise, and you're going to have members of Simple Plan, Emory, Hawthorne Heights, Frisch from my Adobe Radio, and these are 2 amazing DJs. They actually work for me, so I'm saying that. They work for the KL group. Kat and Steph will be DJing tonight, and the Truth Truck DJ. And some of the best after parties we ever had on the Warped Tour was when they pulled that orange truck back. We were barbecuing and we were dancing. And I was hanging out with a band called Pepper. You know those guys? And I was doing a speaking gig the other day in Norfolk, Virginia, and they just happened to, I looked out the hotel and they're playing at the Nova, and I ran across and we hung out. We were just talking about those times where we'd hang out backstage and they would start playing, and then someone would start DJing and barbecuing, and we built this community. And when I started this, I grew up in a world of F corporate America. That was on every skateboarding, F corporate America. And then I realized that, you know what? We bought things from them. We embraced. So you know what? I'm going to go find some of those people that help support us and bring that music to you guys that I love so much. And you see me wearing this shirt, the Ramones. I was lucky enough to work with the Ramones and did over 50 shows on the West Coast with them. So we wear the shirts that stick to us and stick to our hearts. And the person that first got involved with me, and this is too long a story. We're trying to buy a little time here, but believe it or not, in 1996, I was broke ass. 13 years of working in the music business. Went out on the Warped Tour with Sublime, No Doubt, L7, Quicksand. You cheer now, but none of you knew them then. And so we showed up, and we would show up and do these shows in cities, and the promoter said, I canceled that show 2 weeks ago. And I'd go, F that, we're setting up the skateboard ramp and we're doing this show. 1996, I wanted to do this again, and I had two bands, No Effects and Pennywise. And all of a sudden, they had heard how a bunch of pirates we were, how we were just rolling around the country, setting up a skate ramp, doing this. And my ex-partner, and sometimes you will have an ex-partner in life, convinced me that Calvin Klein, believe it or not, Calvin Klein would be a great partner of the Warped Tour. Think about it, 1996 Calvin Klein Warped Tour. Kind of effed up, right? So I was like sitting there and I was desperate. I was back working in the clubs because I worked in the clubs for 13 years before I started the Warped Tour. It wasn't an overnight thing. I worked 320 nights a year loading gear, figuring out how to do this. And I took my shot with the Warped Tour, and I got a call from this man I'm going to bring up right here. And they said, can you come down and talk to us about, you know, what we're doing? I'm going, oh my God, Vans. All right? Vans was the shoe company that my mom would drag my ass every year before school to buy 2 pairs of Vans for $10, I think it was, or something like back then. And they would drag us to the fair and line us up to buy our shoes for school. And they said, Vans would love to talk to you. And I said, so I stoked to come down. And I rolled down, and I went down, and I went into this little room, and a gentleman named Walter Schoenfeld, who was a partner of Steve's father when they started the Vans, they brought me in this little room, and you have nothing to lose in life. Sometimes you just lay it out there. And I only had one shot, because now I had Pennywise, No Effects, no ability to pay them any money to do this next summer. And I said, and they talked to me, and come up here, Steve. This is Steve Van Doren, you guys. And there's moments of time, and you may all have those, where you just have to throw it out there because you believe in something so passionately. And I believed in this music, and I believed in you and what we were all doing for so many years of punk rock in Los Angeles. I said, you know what? They said, can you help us with our amateur skate program? And I said, not unless you're involved in my highly successful music festival called the Warped Tour. And you know what? They signed up. They signed up and got me to the next year. And Steve Van Doren, the next year after that, another shoe company, and I won't ever slag another company, came to me and said, I want to give you a bunch more money to come with us. And I said, you know what? No. Vans is the authentic company. Steve Van Doren is the authentic person. And now I stand before you, 24 years later, when it became the Vans Warped Tour. So I just want to bring up Steve for a second. Thank you, Kevin. One of the bands, the next band too, there's a few bands, I said they have to be part of this if they can. Because whenever we called them, they were always wanting to be part of this whenever they could possible. And I watch them now raise children, and they have children, they're raising children. Travis, lead singer, couldn't be here early because he had to take his daughter to a father-daughter dance. I screwed up sometimes personally as a father. I miss some of this shit. And I feel bad about it. But I got to tour with my daughters later. And I got to raise my daughter in parking lots, meeting all of you, and it was awesome. So right now, come on guys, Travis, you guys, We the Kings. You ready? Tired of hearing me talking. You guys, let's give them a warm Warped Tour Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Welcome, We the Kings. There's a lot of you. Hi!
We're a band called We the Kings from Billings, Florida. Every time that we come to the land, we always feel like we're at home. So whether you're from here, or whether you drove from hours and hours, or wherever you came from. Thank you. We're gonna play a bunch of songs that you might know, and if you don't, just fake it. It'll make us feel really good inside. This is one of our very first songs ever. This love you guys. We love this song. The song means a lot to us. If you've ever heard it before, I hope that it means as much to you. This song is called Sad Song. It's dedicated to every single person that is in this facility area. Are you ready? My best friend Coley's gonna tickle some keys real quick. If you know it, help me sing. You and I, we're like fireworks and symphonies exploding in the sky. Huge car.
So we are on our way back home. We're still in Cleveland. Warped Tour was freaking amazing. Met Charles, Travis, and Cooley. Talked to Charles actually inside the Warped Tour Museum and said hi to Danny. Charles actually cut his hand really bad, so I had to quickly take a picture with him before he went and ran off and I couldn't find him again. So I don't know what the heck he did. He got a nice good gash in. How did you like the concert?
It was good.
Yeah, it was really good.
I was sad to see We the Kings cut it a little bit short. I know their set probably would have gone on a little longer if Charles hadn't gotten his hand cut. But
yes, they cut it short probably by like 2 songs. They only played 4 songs. So Charles like really hurt his hand. So that sucks.
He was bleeding pretty bad.
Yeah, he was bleeding really bad. Emery was really good. We skipped out on Simple Plan just because they're iffy live and it was late and we're said to get home at 1:47 in the morning. Michael's gonna be driving the whole time and then Sunday we're just gonna sleep all day. So it sounds like a great plan to me. Cleveland is really cool. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame was really cool. I have a lot of photos of that and they'll be up on my photography Facebook page, which I will link down in the description below. Hawthorne Heights was really good too, like really good. Emery's, I guess, lead screamer, he is really dope. I have a lot of videos of him like in the crowd and at one point we had to hold him up because he jumped into the crowd and that was like, what the fuck is going on? So I held onto his ankle the whole time. Crowd surfers came and knocked a phone out of a girl's hand and Michael caught it.
I don't even know how. I wasn't even like super paying attention. I just saw a phone falling down so I grabbed it.
It hit me too. And then a girl's hat fell and she had her foot in a boot. So I picked that up off the ground for her. And there was a fight over a drumstick and a set list, which I did not catch on camera because we were packed in like sardines when We the Kings came on. But it was a ton of fun. And now we have a very long drive ahead of us. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video like always, because I always make a Warped Tour video. This is the last one I'll be making unless Kevin Lyman decides to make something. Apparently there's something called the 320 Project and Genesis or something like that. It was in the Omega. It was in the video. You'll see, you would have seen it earlier. But we are gonna go to bed. Please like. If you don't like it, you can dislike this video and leave some constructive criticism on why you didn't like my video. And then subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and I will see you in the next one.